Hello and welcome to the Empire State Trail Weekly Update. A look at the news from across the Erie Canalway and Empire State Trail. And this is the update for April 26th to May 2nd, 2026. And welcome to May. Yay, we made it. And our image here is the new attraction at the Port Byron Old Erie Canal Heritage Park. They're right along Route 31 and the thruway in the village of Port Byron. And you can stop in after May 1st and see this replica boat. It's 88 feet long and 15 feet wide, I think it was. It's going to be a neat attraction to the park. Let's move on. So let's take a look at trail closures. And the weather is warming up and construction season is heating up also. So expect to see more temporary closures, workmen out there, mowers. Always be aware of those guys. Be sure that they see you before you go passing them. If the trail's open and they're just working alongside the trail. The new one here I see is this one here in the Rochester area. They did have, or Parks and Trails is showing this closure, but the trail closure that this is talking about seems to have moved it down to this intersection here. So it was up here around this 490, 390 intersection. You had to go around where they were doing some trail resurfacing work, and this is in Rochester. Sorry about that. And now it seems like it's around a Route 33 interchange here. So I think it's the same closure. They just moved it a little bit east and south. So just be expecting trail closures in there. And then there was another one here. They're showing here, but it's along a 9-mile section of Route 46, which is adjacent to the Empire State Trail. So that's out here. Let's move over here. So that's out here in this area. And they're just saying be wary of construction vehicles. They still have the closure there at the aqueduct site in Durhamville. This temporary closure here at E21 should be opening soon because the canal's going to open. And now, other than that, there wasn't no other new trail closures mentioned. Although there are going to be some events, and we'll get to that here in a sec. Let's take a look at some news. This popped up in the Google alerts this week. Hudson Valley landowners went over $1.3 million in case over Empire State Trail, which, is a little concerning. But I guess what happened is this new Hopewell Beacon Trail, the railroad passed through these owners, the property owners, and they back in the old days, the property owners gave the railroad rights to run a railroad. And when the railroad ceased to exist and they wanted to put a rail trail on there or a recreational trail, the homeowners said, their property owners said, no, that's our land. So the trail is going to go through, but the property owners get some compensation. And I guess this is setting some type of precedent in that in future cases, property owners can sue and maybe even block or get compensation for a trail, which will drive up the price of a trail. So a little concerning. I didn't see anything from the Rails to Trails people over this case. So, but anyway, if you happen to see this this headline pop up, it's not directly on the Hudson Valley Trail. It's connecting to it. This story popped up. It's a pretty nice story encapsulating record-breaking 750-mile trail from New York City to Canada is officially finished. And if you live here in central New York, where we're still riding on big chunks of Route 31, you might disagree with the term officially finished. We would like to see some more finishing happening. happen before we can say it's officially finished. This reminds me of, this is a little bit of canal geekdom, but in 1862 when they were enlarging the canal and they were deepening it, after 30 years the state finally said, we've got to close the books on this enlargement process, and we've had enough. So in 1862 they officially declared that the enlargement was complete, the enlargement from the old Clinton's Ditch to the new 7-foot deep canal, and they said it's done, and it wasn't really done. It kept going on, but this seems like it's just a way for somebody to claim victory. And but anyhow, it's a pretty decent story. It covers the trail well, so if you want to look through that, it's one of these trail adventure blogs, where they list everything and have a lot of links. But they do mention the rise of the trail towns, which is pretty neat. I don't know, one of the most exciting additions is the Adirondack Rail Trail, which I don't think is part of the Empire State Trail, but it is a nice addition. So give that a look. Oh, what other we got news here? Tents on the Towpath. Last week we talked about the new camping sites in Weedsport. The village is allowing camping. There are a couple sites there in Weedsport, which is nice to see. And the people in Chittenango have now a website for Tents on the Towpath, which is really neat. They have designated camping areas. They got bathrooms that look very nice. I'll let this scroll through here. Welcome to Tents on the Towpath. So it's now, if you want free camping, instead of going to Green Lakes, you can come here. And in my travels around Port Byron, I have noticed some riders going through. I've seen some bike packers heading through. So that's nice. It means the season is underway here. And here's the calendar for the month of May. And things are starting to heat up. Port Byron Park opens. Schoharie Crossing opens. So here's a couple more sites you want to visit. Both will give you a very good history of the canal. They're out in small areas, so it's you have no real danger of anybody messing with your bicycles or whatever. And then events along the trail start happening here. So we have the Hudson Valley Marathon, which takes place over the walkway over the Hudson. From what I was reading, it goes both ways. It goes out and back. So if you're riding along the trail in the Hudson Valley, you're going to be cautious of that because it's probably going to be tough to get through. The Weedsport Speedway opener, if you're camping in Weedsport, it's going to be very noisy, so just be aware of that. The Schenectady County Triathlon takes place on the 9th, and that uses part of the trail from what I read. Out in Waterford, the canal officially opens, and the Seneca Chief will be available for tours. Got the Buffalo Marathon going on around the downtown Buffalo area, canal side, so on the 24th. So if you're planning on starting, you got to be on the 24th or whatever. You might be careful of that. Weedsport, we got the Weedsport Fireman Field Days on the 28th, 29th, and 30th. So there will be no camping available in Weedsport, although you can stop and go to the carnival if you wish. And then the weekend after, in June 5th and 6th, the Fairport Canal Days is taking place. So all those are events that you want to be at least knowledgeable of if you're planning on staying in that area, or if you're passing through, you're going to run into a lot more people on the trail. And that's it for the calendar. Busy month. And that's it for this Empire State Trail Weekly. And please note that this is an independent weekly update and is not affiliated with New York State, the Canal Corporation, or any official trail agency. Information is based on publicly available sources and rider reports. The music you hear is AI generated, with some help from me. I thought we should have some trail riding music, so I paid the write these, quote unquote, write these. If you're a real band and you're inspired to write some trail riding music or songs, that would be great. We need some. We need something else other than 15 miles on the Erie Canal. Please remember to give this a like and subscribe and share it if you feel it's useful to you. And we will see you next week.
Steel bridges rise.